Over the course of the Booster Course Passes speculation cycle, no track rivalry has endured as long as DK Mountain versus Dino Dino Jungle. So before we finally get our long-awaited answer of which of these two Double Dash tracks will make it into Wave 6, I'd like to talk about which track I think will get in the game, and also why I vastly prefer one of these tracks over the other one. Keep in mind that this is just my own opinion and that you're free to express yours in the comments below. But without further ado, let's begin. Both DK Mountain and Dino Dino Jungle share the same music and the same general jungle-like aesthetic, which is why many have assumed from as early as Wave 1 that only one of the two tracks could get in rather than both of them, and I'm inclined to agree with this assumption. Especially now that we're down to a single remaining wave of DLC, I find it very unlikely that both of them will make it in. A common point I see brought up in favor of Dino Dino Jungle being the one to get in is this Dino Dino advertisement featured on Coconut Mall. And heck, I even did a video on this myself a year and a half ago. However, I no longer consider this a valid point for DDJ for a few reasons. N64 Koopa Troopa Beach appears in Sunshine Airport, and this track never made it to 8 Deluxe. Additionally, if we use the logic that tracks advertised in the Booster Course Pass have to appear later on in the DLC, then a SNES Vanilla Lake would also have to appear in the final wave, and I find the chances of that happening to be extremely small. Those tracks would feel wildly out of place in the final wave, and considering that we already got Snowland and that the tour remake of SNES Bowser's Castles 3 is so ambitious that it's one of very few tour tracks that I genuinely consider to have been made with the BCP in mind, I really don't think we should pay too much attention to the advertisements. They're also one-to-one with advertisements found in tour, so chances are they're just references to the tracks that don't really mean anything significant. The main reason why I think we'll be getting DK Mountain instead of Dino Dino is simply because it was featured as a retro track in Mario Kart Wii, and the Booster Course Pass has been displaying a heavy preference towards tracks featured in that game. It makes sense considering Wii is the second best-selling Mario Kart game after 8 Deluxe itself. It's thanks to this appearance in Wii that DK Mountain has achieved status as one of the biggest fan favorite tracks from Double Dash. So yes, I'm definitely giving the edge in this rivalry to Mountain in terms of likelihood to get in. But for me personally, I've always liked Dino Dino Jungle much better between the two. It just feels to me like that track has a lot more going on. Between the jungle section, the bridges section, the cave section, and the cliffside section. There's just a lot more environmental diversity to be found. Not to mention Noshi the dinosaur, one of the coolest track hazards in this series. Not only do her feet make for a fun hazard early on in the track, but her head is also an obstacle later on. Meanwhile on DK Mountain, while the descent down the giant cliff is pretty cool, for the track's length it doesn't feel like there's a ton that happens. If I want to play a good mountain descent track, I'd just play DK Summit instead, because I've always found that track to be a more enjoyable time. Although I by no means hate DK Mountain, it's just that it's not one of my favorites, and Dino Dino Jungle is quite literally my all-time favorite GameCube track. So in summary, as far as the Double Dash Jungle track goes in the Booster Course Pass, I am rooting for Dino Dino Jungle but betting on DK Mountain, although it very well could go either way. But where do you guys stand on this rivalry? Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you liked what you saw in this video and want to stay up to date on all things Booster Course Pass, then you can help both yourself and me out by liking the video and subscribing. But with that, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.